Hey, it's Michael Douglas. Welcome back to another edition of Dr. Pundit, where we talk about music, not medicine. And in this edition, it's another reissue that I think a lot of people will like to know about as well. I consider myself a fan of this artist, and I'm talking about Patti Smith. This November marks the 50th anniversary of her release of her acclaimed debut album, Horses. And in the celebration of that milestone, the legendary punk poet will release an expanded edition of that album on October 10th, 3 days before my 57th birthday. Now, the reissue can be pre-ordered now, and it'll be available as a standard 2 CD set and a 2 LP vinyl collection, and both releases will feature a newly remastered version of the original album and an extra disc of outtakes and other rarities. The bonus disc will feature her original RCA audition demo and recordings of Gloria in Excelsis Deo, Redondo Beach, and it also contains a couple of unreleased songs, or 4 tracks: Break It Up, Kimberly, Birdland, and Distant Fingers. Now, Snowball has been released as the advanced single from the reissue. It's available now on streaming services. Just search Patti Smith for it under the Horses reissue. And the track is highlighted by the hypnotic guitar riffing by her longtime guitarist, Lenny Kaye. By the time Patti Smith had recorded Horses, she had gained notoriety as an acclaimed poet. And being heavily influenced by the beat writers, Smith helped serve as a bridge between the beat hippie eras and New York City's punk rock scene. Musically, Horses was heavily influenced by garage rock, acid jazz, art rock, those genres. Now, the album begins with Smith's updated and extended rendition of the Van Morrison written song Gloria, which I alluded to earlier. And that begins with the intense, poetic Smith-penned intro in Excelsis Deo. Horses was produced by former Velvet Underground member John Cale, and Smith was backed by the original members of her band, the Patti Smith Group, drummer J.D. Doherty, guitarist, bassist Ivan Krall, and pianist Richard Soule. Tom Verlaine co-wrote and played guitar on the track Break It Up. Blue Oyster Cult member Alan Lanier co-wrote and contributed guitar to the track Elegy. Now, in a recent post on her Substack, Smith discussed the Horses reissue and reported that about 6,500 copies of the vinyl reissue will be available. She noted that the bonus disc was, quote, compiled after much labor. And she added that it features, quote, unearthed recordings, a couple of live pieces from the New York City punk club CBGB's, and efforts gathering dust, in her words. She also reflected on the making of the album. When we recorded Horses, I hoped to communicate with like minds, the misfits, the disenfranchised, those scraping away off the beaten track. I'm quite moved that the community I hope to find found us as well, and those that survived are still at work. And in touring news to support this album, on September 16th, she'll play a one-off show with her quartet in Rome, Italy. Then her full and current band will launch a 50th anniversary Horses tour, starting with a European leg running from October 6th in Dublin, Ireland, through October 21st in Paris. She'll then bring the trek back to these shores in the US in November, and that leg is plotted out from November 10th in Seattle to November 29th in Philadelphia. And if she isn't busy enough, she's also preparing a new memoir titled Bread of Angels that will be published on November 4th, and the book will feature Patti Smith delving into various periods of her life, including her childhood in Philadelphia, southern New Jersey, her teenage years when she began to develop a passion for her art, and her emergence as a punk icon, and her hiatus from music, and her time raising her family in Michigan, and more. So it looks to be a very voluminous tie-in with a lot of other things in regard to Patti Smith's this tremendous debut album, Horses, and looking forward to it, hearing it on the streaming services. I'm Michael Douglas. If you like what you see here on the channel, please don't hesitate to like and subscribe. And as the late great Barry White always used to say, let the music play. And I'll see you on the next episode.